Welcome. This presentation is my educational portfolio in summary. My philosophy of education begins with an emphasis on the understanding that we are made to be with God in heaven. My philosophical underpinnings primarily come from St. Thomas Aquinas. St. Thomas Aquinas understood that knowledge begins in the senses. Through abstraction, we are able to use inductive and deductive reasoning to come to knowledge. Truth and wisdom are fundamental, and we will discover that together. The classroom and curriculum and collaborative techniques support these fundamental ideas. The reason I include this slide is because it goes along with my teaching philosophy very well. St. Augustine, in the Confessions, taught that there are two books, the book of nature and the book of Scripture. It is through both of these books that we come to know God and come to know all the wonderful things that He has created. In this section, I include some coursework that is applicable to teaching at St. Dominic. In the first section, I have some background and foundational courses in philosophy and the faith. At first glance, it may seem that these are not entirely related to science teaching and the language arts, but that's simply not the case. The philosophy courses that I have taken are invaluable to teaching any subject, but especially science, because the scientific method depends on an understanding of what it means to be, how it is that we know that, how we come to the conclusion that this is true or that is not true, and how we recognize what is a theory or what is fact. It also is invaluable for helping to understand what has been said in the past and how that relates to today. It also is invaluable in relating to the faith. God has two books, which means everything is connected. Truth cannot contradict truth. And so this is only helpful to a better understanding of the world around us. In the educational courses slide, I include the clinical one, which is required from the University of Cumberland before we are qualified to seek a teaching position and get a certificate. This course taught me about classroom management, about lesson design, and about collaboration with other teachers and extended learning community. This summer I will be taking 3 mini classes on online teaching and learning, how to design a massive open online course, which is probably a little bit extensive for the purposes of elementary school. However, the principles still apply, and I'm sure that this course will be quite helpful. And then teaching research design. And of course, this last course, though, is designed for all ages. Again, the principles are the same, and we all know that research is absolutely foundational to science. In this last section, I'll show the content courses that I have taken through my undergraduate and graduate career that relate specifically to the areas of science, math, and language arts. The purpose of this slide in this presentation is not to communicate specific websites for your use, but to show that I understand the importance of utilizing outside teaching resources, that I understand the necessity of curriculum frameworks and teaching standards, but also to provide a place for me to have a central repository as I build my teaching resource portfolio. My teaching experience and observational opportunities have been a bit eclectic. As you know, I've homeschooled for several years. I also taught faith to high school and primary age children for several years. When I began my career at St. Catherine College, I participated as a teacher in the continuing education program. And in this adult education environment, I taught eBay skills as well as general and application computer skills in a laboratory environment. I found this quite interesting to compare the difference in teaching younger children all the way up through adults, and the differences and the similarities in doing so. My observational hours through St. Catherine College were primarily visiting a plethora of different learning environments, especially found the Maxwell Spanish Immersion School fascinating. I also, as you know, did several observation hours through the University of Cumberland at St. Dominic Elementary School. The next 3 slides show in a general way my management plan components, classroom procedures, and communication plan components. They are general on purpose to allow for adaptation to the content, to the age of the classroom, and to the specific dynamics of that particular student composition. But what is general is that it is goal-based, the rules support the goals and they are few in number, and then the procedures support those. The environment is designed to be dynamic, collaborative, inquiry-based, and open to communication with all parties so that the learning environment is as open to learning and encouraging of learning as possible. This last section of the educational portfolio is a sample lesson plan for 7th grade life science. And in the first section, I show the actual lesson plan. And then the next part of it is part of a PowerPoint presentation that would be available in the classroom and would help drive the instruction with some links to video components as well. And this is just to give you an idea of where I would start in providing the materials to teach a lesson, and how I would proceed through that lesson, and how I would conclude in reflection and improvement for the next lesson. In conclusion, I would like to thank you for watching my PowerPoint presentation and hope that this brief overview has provided some insight into my philosophy of education, some of my background and educational knowledge components, as well as to show what I am capable of in the classroom. I hope you have a blessed day and look forward to speaking with you soon. Thank you.